Yo, I got a simple question though. How the fuck is African Americans African Americans? That doesn't make sense. First of all, how we from Africa when Africa originally was known as a Kibelon? How we from America when America was named as Zerf? We could start there, and then we can think about 50,000 years ago before we was reclassified as Negro, before we was reclassified as African American, before we was reclassified as Black, we was called indigenous, and before we was called indigenous, we reclassified from a phrase known as Hebrew or Judites. They said Pacific, then with African Americans, we was known as Judites. But then at the same time, as we say that, we can also talk about blacks, Hispanics, Native indigenous people who are always known as Hebrew Israelites. Or this whole entire land from Canada to America to South America, also known as Azerv. Another name for it, Americana, Turtle Island, before it was being called America. It started as Azerv. Now, Mesopotamia, the south side of Azerv is Mesopotamia, which we say is Mexico right now, right? Mexico, Mexico. Mesopotamia, it's Mesopotamia. Now, this is in the Mesopotamia, the roots of Jamaicans start in Mesopotamia. How people don't know that? The fact that Taínos, Arawaks, Amarucans, which is the phrase Americana, in the first place, that's the roots of Jamaicans. Jamaicans are technically black and Latino or black and Latina. But then again, if you're black, you're actually Latino or Latina. If you're a Latino or Latina, you're actually black. If you're black or Latino or Latina, you're technically indigenous. It doesn't make a difference. We're all the same people. We're all technically known as Hebrew Israelites. But people would sit back and tell us that we all these different graphics of people, but originally before slavery, any of us ever in slavery, was known as Hebrews. The proof in the pudding is the fact that Christopher Columbus brought a Hebrew translator when he talked to people from Puerto Rico, and south side of Azerv, Mexico, who links with Black, Hispanic, Shemitic, Asiatic, indigenous people. Genetically, so that would essentially mean and so forth that Christopher Columbus knew there was Hebrew Israelites. That's why he had a Hebrew translator. So that's just thus that proves and so forth that we was all Hebrew Israelites from the start. But the thing about it is, people must have said, "Nah, I heard the Spaniards had slaves." Okay, ain't no argument because when you say Spaniards, you gotta remember the Spaniards came from Italy. Oh, that means Italians had slaves. Nope, doesn't mean that at all. Because you gotta understand who stole Italy. That's why they call it Edom Rome. Edom Rome is in Italy. Who's the Edom Romans? But he meant Romans, people from the Caucasus Mountains of Russia. They mean white people. Where did they originate at? Edom, which is right below Israel. This means essentially that white people, Esau, is the one that put all many people in slavery. Next time somebody want to bring up the phrase and so forth with Spaniard, they got nothing to do with Hispanics. Hispanics didn't have no slaves. They was slaves. The Edomites and Romans, church, Italy, motherfucking white people from the Caucasus Mountains of Russia stole their land in Italy, stole their land in Spain, stole their land and put them in slavery like they put all of us in slavery around the globe. White people did that shit. Historically documented. So when people don't understand the definition of Spaniard, it has nothing to do with Hispanic. It just means that somebody that Hispanics was in slavery, just like blacks was in slavery, like a Native Indigenous was in slavery, like Shemitic Asiatic people was in slavery globally worldwide during the transatlantic triangle slave trade. White people did that. Got nothing to do with no melanated people. My skin ain't a sin. The lies of the government is. It's a differential, yo. That go with the Freemasons, the Ashkenazis from Germany. People that was down with Adolf Hitler. That got nothing to do with my ancestors. Adolf Hitler did me a favor. How you figure that? Don't say that. Yeah, he did. Adolf Hitler had said back and said that God had the real Jews in slavery. The real Jews is black, Hispanic, Semitic, Asiatic, indigenous people. It's connected to the four winds through the triangle, let's say slavery. So that means Adolf Hitler was destroying the Ashkenazi Jews, the false Jews, because he knew that slavery was anti-Semitic. But yet, when we sit back and tell that truth, the false white Jews from Germany would sit back and say that we anti-Semitic. How are we anti-Semitic when we Shemitic? Shemitic people have melanin. So how am I anti-Semitic? My answer is slavery. The Ashkenazi Jews don't have melanin and put melanin people in slavery. I can't exist anti-Shemitic if I'm Shemitic. That's the part people don't understand. The federal government lies. That's why the KKK, neo-Nazi, Aryan, racist white slave groups, Ashkenazi Jews from Germany, the Freemasons, Knights Templar, Edomite Church in Rome and Italy, and motherfucking Vladimir Putin. Oh, that was talk about Vladimir Putin. Let's talk about Mark Zuckerberg. All right, well, Mark Zuckerberg selling slaves. 500 million slaves being flipped on motherfucking Instagram and Facebook. And no government in the world did nothing about it. You know why? Because Mark Zuckerberg is a racist supremacist that does not give a fuck about any melanated people. Fuck Mark Zuckerberg. They're going to sit back and say, that's racist. That he did that? Yeah, it is racist. But yet, no government did nothing about it. The fact that no government around the world did nothing about it is racist. That just means they don't give a fuck about us melanated people. Sad part, sad truth. So why is we wrong for saying that Black lives matter, Hispanic lives matter, Shemitic lives matter, Indigenous lives matter, spiritual lives matter, melanated lives matter, Hebrew Israelite lives matter? But they'll sit back and say that, no, that's terrorism. How the fuck are we the victims of terrorism? Is it terrorism if we the victims of terrorism for millenniums since we was in slavery in Egypt? Before we were sold to the white man in America. Before we were sold to the Arabian man or a different Asian man. That's why they have Christians, Baptists, Muslims, Egyptologists, Scientologists, all former slave masters. But yet, when us Hebrew Israelites tell the truth about the fact that people were stuck upon paganism with false religions that always all started by slave masters, they tell Hebrew Israelites don't say it. But the fucked up part about it is, if you Google search the same information I just said out my mouth, you'll find out it's factual. So, again, I ask the question, how is Hebrew Israelites wrong for telling the truth? Yet they look at us like we wrong for trying to wake my people up, wake all people up, all melanated people. Don't make a difference. Trying to wake up all melanated people. So no melanated person has to suffer from oppression no more. But yet they'll sit back and say, don't talk bad about Donald Trump. Fuck Donald Trump. Don't talk bad about motherfucking Mark Zuckerberg. Fuck Mark Zuckerberg. Don't talk bad about Abraham Lincoln. Fuck Abraham Lincoln. Don't talk bad about motherfucking George Washington. Fuck George Washington. I don't give a fuck. Don't talk shit about motherfucking the KKK, the neo-Nazis, the Aryans, the Freemasons. I don't give a fuck. Don't talk shit about the Queen of England, a former slave master. I don't give a fuck. Don't talk shit about the neo-Nazis. I don't give a fuck. Don't talk shit about the Ashkenazi Jews that had us in slavery. I don't give a fuck. How am I wrong again?